the Function with Purpose podcast. All things health, wellness, fitness, and education with a physical therapy perspective. I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder of Fortress Physical Therapy. Fortress PT is here to serve the Charlotte metro area by highlighting the importance of how and why physical therapy should be a part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Here we go, episode number 8, favorite number of the FPT Function with Purpose podcast. Dr. Amy here. Number 8. I like the number 8. Something about the number 8. I don't know. It's weird. Like, my parents got married on June 28th. My mom's birthday's on April 28th. My parents were born in the year 1948. I paid my debt off on September 8th, 2020. So strange. I remember I started my first PT job. My apartment number was number 8. So weird. Anywho, yeah, 8's the thing. 8's the thing for me. I'm going on year 8 practicing physical therapy this summer. Oh my gosh. And I started a podcast on year 8. Oh my gosh. Strange. Anywho, one of my favorite topics. The poison is in the dosage. How to avoid pain during training or therapy. Oh yeah. This kind of stemmed off from, I believe, episode 7 on, patients come to see me when they are in pain, but they don't realize that a previous time ago, they may have experienced a little tweak in their back and then thought nothing of it. And then, they went back to their CrossFit class or interval training class or burn boot camp. And then maybe 2 months down the road, the pain came up again in their back. Maybe it stayed, instead of 3 days long, it was 3 times as long. Maybe it was 10 days long. And then it went away. Right? So over time, this low back pain kept appearing and reappearing, except it would stay around longer and longer. Right? So patients usually see me when the fire's pretty big and it takes a little while or takes a better understanding that how to put out that fire, that pain fire that developed in their low back 2 years ago, and how to understand that when you perform a squat or that specific movement that tends to maybe perhaps irritate it, that you need to really focus on movement control or quality of movement and dosage. So I like to give this analogy to patients. Dosage, right? On your prescription over-the-counter ibuprofen, it's usually a 200 milligram tablet, right? Well, you come in for physical therapy, we assess you, we decrease your pain at least by 50%. That's pretty significant. And we talk about that squat pattern maybe that kind of caused that low back pain. I still want you to do squats, but I want you to know your dosage. So I don't want you to go and start doing 50 to 100 squats again, loaded with the barbell on your back, because that seemed to maybe perhaps aggravated it in the first place or made it stay around longer. So the dosage is too much. It's like taking that 200 milligram of ibuprofen and taking 8 of those, right? The poison's in the dosage. So I try to relay this message to patients that they can relate to, that with your dose, I don't want you to take medicine, but think of it as this way. I want you to stick around that 200 to 400 milligram ibuprofen range. Again, I don't want you to actually take medicine, right? But if you feel like you need to, you have to. Disregard that. But to give patients a perception of what the dosage they should be doing with their back squat, right? I don't want an 800 milligram ibuprofen dosage of back squatting. I want a 200 or a 400. And then see how your response to that type of load or that type of rep scheme or that type of dosage goes. Right? So pain just doesn't show up. Pain builds over time. Again, like how I stated before, maybe that pain, that low back pain happened 3 years ago and it lasted very short. Then it came on again 6 months later, except it lasted a little longer. And then 3 months later came on, lasted for a month. And then it went away. And then a month later came back. Well, guess what? Something that you're doing is causing this pain to reoccur. And as a physical therapist, we can help assess and address faulty movement patterns and address that pain and diminish it and hopefully put that fire out, right? So when people come in, patients come in and athletes come in and I assess their low back pain, my goal is to help them understand that a gut check is a good thing, right? Because we want to avoid this unwanted overload during training and physical therapy, right? Because if doing a low grade physical therapy movement, some people think, clamshells or whatever, aggravates the low back an hour later, do you really think squatting 315 pounds, which probably aggravated and made your situation worse to begin with, is the proper dosage for you? Hell no. Hell to the no. You need to step it back. And it's okay, right? Because there's other ways that you can train around this pain and discomfort. We can do aerobic training, interval training, but it's specific to your dose in order to not aggravate that area. And that is what physical therapists can do. That is what I do. That is what I help to provide my patients once they gain and understand their situation. They won't understand it, as my dad would say. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. Until you're ready to drink that water, you're not going to get better. So, the poison's in the dosage. Taking that gut check to understand and learn and seek out help that there are ways to train around pain. You don't have to pop some medication, pop some ibuprofen and bed rest yourself, because we know based on the research and stuff that's promoted out there, except for TV commercials promoting medicine all the time, that movement is medicine. But you got to know your doses, especially when you're experiencing a bout of pain and discomfort. And that's where physical therapy comes in. Right? So there's another thing I talk about is RPE, rating of perceived exertion. That's going to play a role as well. From a 0 to 10 scale, 10, 100% all out effort, 0 sitting on the couch. By gosh, we don't want to be 0 when we're in pain. I don't want you sitting on the couch. I want you to try to be in that 5 out of 10 range or that 4 out of 10, pending your pain level, right? Obviously, everything depends on what you present with. But I think that good range of perceived exertion, RPE, is in that 4 to 6, specifically 5, 50%, boom. Right? Because prior you were used to 8 or 9 out of 10. No one should be at 9 or 10 out of 10, 8 here and there, right? The majority of the population are not elite athletes. I'm not an elite athlete. You're not an elite athlete. Some of you may be listening to this, but the majority of us are not. We're just people living life and doing things. Right? So how I paint this picture and help patients become their own thinking athletes, their own thinking mindset, is knowing your effort levels during exercise or training, what seems to aggravate the area, what doesn't, what can you tolerate, and the dosage. Right? Yeah, I still want you to back squat, but take 50% of your 300-pound back squat. 150. All right. Well, guess what? I'm going to add a what we call time under tension load to that. Maybe it's a 3-second lower, 3-second pause at the bottom, and then 3 seconds coming back up. And then repeat that for 5 reps maybe. So, the poison is in the dosage. And in order to avoid pain during training, you have to understand and appreciate that going all out and still being in pain does not set you up for success. And physical therapy can help break that for you and help you and teach you other ways to still get your heart rate up and train around this pain while getting better. Right? Diminishing that pain and keeping you in the game. Function with purpose. So hopefully that gives you guys some insight. If you're in the South Charlotte area, definitely come check out Fortress Physical Therapy. My office is located within our CrossFit gym, CrossFit Pineville. Hit us up. That's a wrap for today's episode, Function with Purpose podcast. For more information on this episode, check out the show notes within your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, or drop your comments and questions below. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for the listen. Pursuit, precision, purpose.